Good day, everybody. Happy Tuesday. So guess what? This is the last day of the 6-day Advanced Water Fasting Challenge. For those of you who have never been on the show before, I'm Dr. Darrell Wolfe, and I'm your guide if you want me to be, but just know this, I'm here to answer all your questions. So if you want to come on Facebook or YouTube or Intercom and you've got questions, please just feel free to bring them on. I'll be doing, live questions today. And like I said, this is the last day of the 6-day water fasting challenge. And you know what? The most important thing, guys, is not whether you did the whole 6 days. You could have just done one day or half a day. The reality is, what we all need to know is this. The first time that something comes into our life, no matter, it could be life-threatening or it could be life-saving. And usually your subconscious is going to go, nope, don't want it, don't know it, never seen it, won't accept it, it's out of here. And that's why we really have to learn to be patient with ourselves, and we need to be patient with others. But the reality is the subconscious is as stubborn as a mule. And I'll tell you something, it's even more stubborn than a mule. I mean, it's so stubborn, it would be like the mule you got to shoot and then drag it into the truck. So the reality is, depending on a person's beliefs and what those beliefs are, will depend on how hard it is for someone to buy into something new, okay? Even if it's good for them, even if it could save their life. You know, and I see that a lot, especially when it comes to health. I mean, if you take a look at it, in the natural health industry, you know, we don't have the money to advertise, you know, to come at you 6 commercials, same commercial in 1 hour on TV. Big Pharma owns the media. And the reality is this, is people aren't dumb. They've just been dumbed down because understand something. The beliefs that you take in, if you don't have a filter, if those are intelligent beliefs, if those are high vibrational beliefs, then good things are going to happen. If they're low vibrational beliefs, if they're corrupted, then your brain will be corrupted, and then eventually your body gets corrupted. So why am I saying this? Well, because some of you are going to be doing these advanced water fasting and go, wow, this has changed my life. Some of you are going to try to do it for the first time and you're going to hit a wall. Just don't give up on yourself. Learn to find patience, because the more patience you find for yourself when you're trying to embrace nature and to detoxify, to bring your tissues, your body up to a higher level, you know, you're going to hit some bumps in the road. So when you hit a bump in the road, just slow down, breathe, connect to the Lionheart breath. When there's a really quick right turn, or when, you know, you feel like you're just, then take a break from it. But don't throw it away. You know, the big thing it was what the subconscious wants. It only wants you to do what you did yesterday. And understand, what you did yesterday and the day before got you into this mess. Okay, whether you're in a mess on an emotional or physical level or both, it's the beliefs that make and shape you. And the reality is, if you don't change your beliefs, you'll never change your reality. So that means you got to change some parts of your personality. You got to change maybe some of the people you hang around with, places you go, how you shop, where you shop, you know, what you watch, what you don't watch. You know, maybe when you come home, you know, you do things to try to really get to exercise and maybe go for a walk. And, you know, you got to change your routine. And you got to do something different. If you want different, you got to do different. And that's all this is about. This show is about choices. We're trying to give you a choice. So the reality is, if I say something to you like, this is what I believe, well, it's what I believe. You know, don't punish me for it. The reality is you're going to have different beliefs because you had different parents. You went to a different school. You know, you may be part of a different religion. You may be just, you know, you see things differently. With the mind you have, you perceive, you know, you can have 10 different people in the same room and they're all going to see the same thing differently. That's right. Because your beliefs make and shape you, and you will focus on each day depending on what your beliefs are. So, you know, if you have beliefs that the world is a scary place, then your beliefs will want to go there. If you believe that you can't lose weight, then your beliefs will want to go there. If you believe that you can get your health back, your beliefs are going to go there. Now, some people will actually wake up. I want to say something. A really dear friend of mine, and he became a real dear friend. He came to a certification 3 years ago in Florida when we did one in St. Petersburg. And you could tell that, he was really hard on himself. So, he had cancer at the time. And even though he had cancer and the tumor was on his neck, he was still smoking. And but what a lovely man. What a big heart. He was so sensitive to everyone else and so apologetic. But the reality is, he really did try. But you know what? He bought into the I'm going to love myself unconditionally and stop punishing myself for my past and the things that I feel I've done to my wife and my children. And it was a day late and a dollar short. I truly believe that he passed away and peaceful and really found love in his heart. And what a beautiful person, right up to the very end when he left. And all I want to say is this, is give love a chance. Give self-love a chance. I know we've given love a chance many times, but please give self-love a chance. Give self-care a chance. Self-respect, self-protection, self-honor. Find out if it doesn't brighten your light. And when you brighten the light, you increase the vibration all the way down into your cells. You can turn on someone, you can turn them off. You can turn yourself on, turn yourself off. You can turn your cells on, you can turn your cells off. Cancer is epigenetic, not genetic. And anybody that believes that their cancer is genetic, you know what? You're being lied to. And they say there are some rare situations where the cancer is genetic, but people actually think hemorrhoids are genetic or the craziest things. But understand something. Your habits are genetic. The way you eat, the way you treat yourself and others is genetic. Okay? That's really what it boils down to. It's epigenetics, and we know that. And we know that we're light energy vibrational beings. And that's why we want to do fastings. We want to really to go in and heal and nourish the invisible part of us. If you truly understood the human body, you would know that we're 1 quadrillion particles. And if you knew that a particle was 99.999999996 empty space, you would understand something. That what you see is only 0.000000004 of you. Isn't that crazy? So the reality is we've been taught to focus on everything physical, visual. But the greatest part of us and the greatest healing part of us is invisible. The invisible creates the physical. So that's why I do these 6-day advanced water fasting challenges every 2 months. Now, I might have to do a date change because of a huge conference that's coming up. It's going to be one of the biggest online conferences that the world has ever had. We expect maybe around 2.5 million people watching this, not throughout the whole time, but in one time going through. And this starts on October, I think, the 17th. And then it runs right till the end of the month. And we have some of the biggest people in emotional, nutritional, detox, you name it, scientists, professors. You'll know most of these people by name. And understand something. It's time. It's the turning point. And here's the situation. Did you know that the difference between us being able to get back to having our freedoms is just a choice? It's a mental choice. It's not a COVID choice. That's all I want to say. Okay? So I think I want everybody to just really start feeding the invisible part of themselves. And, try smiling more. Put a slight smile on your face. Connect to your breath. Put your shoulders back, your chin up. Start focusing. Try to focus on, for the rest of today or even the rest of the week, only what you want, not what you don't want. Don't participate in any negative conversations. And you know what? It's going to be hard for you, because the conversations that you think are just normal conversations are bloody well negative. What we have taken on as normal is abnormal. I'll be honest with you. I am no better and no worse than anybody else on this planet. We are all from the same place. I need you to get this. But the reality is I cannot hang out with the majority of the population right now. Okay? So I do know that the majority of the population has not bought into what's going on right now. But the reality is the silent majority is going to have to speak up sooner and later. And I understand, they've used fear against us, and the majority of the population is very fearful. And they don't want to speak up, because the subconscious will create fear. But if you were to ask the subconscious, what is the worst that could happen? The subconscious has no answer, because the subconscious says, I don't have answers for you. All I have is fear. The subconscious does not have answers for you. The subconscious only has fear to offer you. Because anything new, because this is a new terror tactic, right? Isn't it kind of funny though? This virus is so small, it's microscopic, but it's taken down the whole world. And the reality is if we don't have viruses in our body, we'd be dead already. Do you get this? That without viruses, you'd be dead already. Viruses are a normal way of life. The problem is, people have been taught that they're not intelligent, so they don't try to be. Think about that one. No, you're not intelligent. You need to go at least 20 years to school to even look after your body. You wouldn't even know how to look after yourself. And I'll tell you something right now. I have a 21-day certification program. And you're going to go, who does he think he is? Well, guess who I am? I'm Darrell Wolfe. And the reality is I learned a long time ago that there is a hidden genius and a practitioner in every human being, and that every human being can become a practitioner. Now, I didn't say surgeon. I didn't say pharmacist. Okay? I didn't say neurologist. But guess what? Any person can look after their health and stay away from chronic illness and teach others to do that. And guess what? Is that valuable? I think it's much more valuable than surgery, don't you? Do you think it's much more valuable than taking prescription drugs? Don't you? And you don't have to go to school forever and a day, and you don't have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. And guess what? I don't care who you are. If you've got a passion and a purpose, you call me anytime you want. My extension's number 5. Because chances are you'd be an amazing practitioner. And I'll tell you right now, I tell people when they come to take my courses, and if they take my trainings and they stay connected to us, that they will be the most intelligent practitioner within 200 miles. And you can, and when people say to me, you have no right to say that, and who do you think you are, and you're actually dangerous. Well, no, you're actually dangerous, because the reality is that your beliefs don't fit mine. But I'm so dangerous? Yeah. Okay. So I'm so dangerous because I'm teaching people to take their power back. I'm teaching people to actually take their lives back and their family lives. Doesn't look like anybody else is doing it. I haven't seen any big changes out there. So when I create 100,000 practitioners, and they create this wave of self-care, self-love, and they teach people to unleash the practitioner from within, and then we are no longer buying into all the dysfunctional beliefs, and when we are no longer buying all of the garbage and shoving it in our mouth and our mind, then where are we going to be? Then what are you going to do? Then what names are you going to call me? What are you going to throw at me then? The reality is I'm unstoppable, because I'm okay with it. I'm okay with your beliefs not matching mine. And you know what? That's going to happen. But that doesn't mean you're not my brother or my sister. That doesn't mean that we're not family. It just means that we have two different beliefs. Now, the reality is how dangerous am I? Am I more dangerous than a prescription drug? Am I more dangerous than surgery? Am I more dangerous than a lie? Everything I do, I tell the truth. And if it's not the truth, then guess what? I'll clean up that mess because I only want to live for total integrity. I don't know if you get that or even if you want to believe it, but it's none of my business if you don't. But the reality is that I know there's a bigger purpose and there's a bigger mission going on here, you know? I had a practitioner that is trained by us, and she also does blood work, and she sent me a text and said, give me a call because you know what? There's nothing more important than getting out there and getting the word out that people are allowed to care for themselves and love themselves. People need to know this right now. She says, I have no other thing to want to do except to help the world. And guess what? We are the dangerous ones, aren't we? We are the dangerous ones. You know, and then I really love it when people, you know, say things to me, but let's take a guy named Jesus. He used to do fastings all the time. I mean, geez, he was nailed to the cross because he was trying to teach unconditional love. But then when we try to teach people how to do unconditional love, you know, then it's like we're going against everything, aren't we? You know, I think that people are a little confused out there. So let's really try to find the light within. And, you know, let's lighten up. Let's flush the pounds and lighten up, you know, on a physical and emotional level. Let's get into learning how to fast, okay? Whether you believe it or not, 30% of what you eat is all you need if you're eating right. And the other 70% goes towards the doctor. Did you get what I just said? Okay, so the other 70% of what you're eating is getting you to go to the doctor. If you were to actually embrace things like the advanced water fasting and the perfect day diet and, you know, all the other crazy things that I try to teach, you know, you would see. The biggest problem and the biggest hurdle you'll ever have is to love yourself. Because when you come here, you have unconditional love because, oh my God, you're so beautiful. This baby could poop on me, spit on me, throw up on me. I just love this baby so much. But as soon as you start to walk and talk, it's a whole different story. There's a whole bunch of love conditions that come. And then by the time you're a teenager, you're adulterated. So the reality is, I say that we should change that kitty litter into a sandbox. And I say that we should let that little child out of jail and let them know that they are in a safe place and then to love them. And just know that you are beautiful. All right? So the next 6-day water fasting challenge will kick off on Thursday, October the 29th. And we're going to be doing a preparation show on the October the 15th, 2 weeks prior, so that maybe we can get you into the perfect day diet. And then also, hopefully you'll watch the preparation video in the 6-day advanced water fasting guide, which you'll find in my library. If you go to docofdetox.com, just click on there. And so we want to strategize this whole thing because it's all about strategy. You know, this whole COVID virus thing, they strategize that for like, I don't know, you know, for years and years and years, you know. Isn't it amazing, though? You got to give them credit. You know, just a handful of people took the whole world down with a virus that was deadly, that isn't deadly. Yeah, there are people passing on, but it's not a pandemic. It's not even an epidemic. And the reality is, it changed the whole world. And it's even got people going bankrupt. It's got people doing suicide. I mean, think about it. Think about it. How much do you really know you? How much do you really protect you? How much do you really honor and respect you to have that happen where a handful of people could take us down and bring us to our knees and begging, please, let us just get back to normal? Yes, take away our freedoms, but give us security, that false sense of security. The only security you're ever going to have is when you get to unleash that unlimited power within you, that God-given power, when you decide to take it back, my God, most of the churches won't even open up. Think about it. Really, where's their faith lie? Okay? Not trying to pick on them, not trying to start anything. I'm just trying to say something here. If you were to look at the stats, oh yeah, but the illusion of the great pandemic that's coming. So anyways, so we're getting ready for the second wave, right? Because these people that have dreamt up this thing are so much more intelligent than us, and they just know this. Oh, Bill Gates, you think the first wave was something? Wait till you see the second. You know, like, what is this? Some kind of what? Do you actually buy into this stuff? Okay, I mean, did he just pop out of a Cracker Jacks? Seriously. Anyways, I've done my rant, but I want to rave for you. I want to rave for you every day. Okay, so just know this. All the links of our take action information you'll find at the end of this video, okay? I mean, at the end of the show, okay? Send in your live questions from Facebook, YouTube, Intercom. And can they send in questions from Twitter too once we get on there? Or can they? Yeah, so then we'll probably do that too, because we're going to bounce on over to Twitter, and we'll have our shows on Twitter as well, okay? Now, I want to talk about one little thing before I go on here. How to win when the game is rigged, okay? Okay, now understand something. Sunday, October the 18th, I'm doing a 2-hour, okay, show where I'm going to have practitioners, right? I'm going to have approximately about, 15, 16 practitioners coming here to learn how to become certified as a whole life coach and as a non-surgical therapist. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about how they rigged the game and how we're going to win, how we win this game, and in that 2 hours. And those therapists will be joining me, but we'll be on with 2.5 million other people. If you'd like to join us, I'll be giving you information on it, and I think it'll be a show that you'll really enjoy. I'm going to show you some things about the mind, how the mind works. I'm going to show you what's going on out there a little bit. I'm going to talk about what happens when you have lost your mind, because then you start to lose parts of your body. And I'm going to talk about how we can get those parts of our body back to health, and how we can become the masters of our mind, because where the mind goes, the body follows. And that's the end of it. It truly is. That's it in a nutshell. So if you want to join me for that show, that'd be great. Wednesday, September 23rd, which is tomorrow, at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, rheumatoid arthritis and calcium ion therapy with Jay Lee, okay? And then I will be back here next Monday for my live Q&A, okay? And that will be at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, all right? So let's begin, okay? So during an extended fast, okay, understand something. The body's assembly line, otherwise your digestive tract will go into total rest and repair, okay? A total rest and repair mode. So coming out of your advanced fast should be done with gentle baby steps. You know what? If you come out of it too fast, you shock your system. You know what? It's like this. You shut down the whole digestive tract from your mouth basically down to your rectum. And the reality is, when you turn it back on, let's just turn it on slowly and gradually and say, hello, I love you, and wake things up. And understand something. I probably didn't emphasize it enough, but drinking warm to hot water is really an amazing thing. And that's the way you should wake your body up every morning. And that's the way you should put it to bed with every night. And you don't have to drink it right before bed, because then you got to pee. But even warm water throughout the day will also help to calm your system down and to open up things and to move mucus along. Okay? But when we break the fast, okay, we want to do it with gentle baby steps so that you do not cause, okay, shock or trauma to your system. Okay? All right? A basic rule to go by is whatever length of time you're on the fast, take half of the time to come out of it before starting your perfect day protocol. So the perfect day protocol is the perfect day guide. If you go into the library, and then go to page 30, it's approximately page 30. Check that out. But the reality is, okay, if your fast lasts 6 days, then you would take 3 days, which is half, to come out of it before starting the perfect day diet. It's as simple as that. After your 6-day fast is complete, for the first 3 days, okay, consume only homemade or bought organic vegetable broth. Some people like to go to bone broth. I'm a vegetable broth guy, but do whatever you want. Actually, I got to be honest with you. I would say that my diet is probably around, honestly, it truly is 90-95% whole plant-based. That's what I really love to do. I know that that's how I feel the best. But the reality is, the last time I did the fast, I did use some bone broth, and it was kind of nice, okay? And so I did a little bit of bone broth. I did a little bit of vegetable broth, but I leave that in your hands. Go by what you feel, and you also can do celery juice, or some people like to do a little bit of fermented drinks, okay? So that's all good for the first 3 days, all of those. And you can go take a look at this in the 6-day Advanced Water Fasting Challenge Guide in the library. Now, sip it. Sip it. I know your body just goes, your mind just wants to get back to this because you can't live without food. You can't live without nutrition. We just got to get back there. But if you gulp it, you're going to be in trouble. So I would say to those of you, to slow you down, maybe you get a straw and then just maybe for the first day, take everything up through a straw, okay, and then be more sipping it. Don't gulp it because you're not going to like it. You don't want cramps, do you? The reality is I know that it's not solid food. But the reality is, honey, I love you. Wake up, honey. Okay? All right? Okay, so now remember, everything that you were consuming on the advanced water fast for the 6 days, like your SAC calcium, fulvic acid concentrate, ATP, or if you were doing Divine Vine or Pineal, one of those three, you can still do those. Those of you that were adding like a little bit of lemon lift or orange burst or super cinnamon essential oils to your water, you can still do it. Okay? And if you are using like peppermint on achy muscles, pain, or pain away, okay, or immunity essential oil on your body, you can still do that. And if you are nebulizing with the silver bullet liquid or with fulvic eye drops to keep your sinuses clear and to get rid of the infection in your lungs, you can still do that. And understand, you can still do Ormus minerals because they don't turn on your digestive tract. And if you're doing the ultimate coffee enema, ask yourself, should I take a break here? So, coffee enema are great. The ultimate coffee enema, take a look at that if you want. It's utilizing also tummy love and black gold. Excuse me. Understand, people either get obsessive about coffee, the ultimate coffee enema, or they don't want to do it at all. What if we found a happy medium? You'll know, because when you start doing the ultimate coffee enema, your energy levels will come up. And then when you start, if you're still doing it, some people will do it once a day. Some people will do it twice a day, and they might do it for 10 days like that. But you really got to go by your gut, because understand something. Your gut-brain connection is your connection. As soon as I realized that I had to get my large intestine and good bacteria into great shape before my brain would work, wow. You know what? I respect my large intestine and my good bacteria more than anything else, and then they respect and they honor my brain. That's the God's truth. What they want to do out in the system is dumb down your pineal gland, okay, with fluoride. Okay. I mean, look at these dentists that do this. I mean, they're just terrorists, right? I mean, who are these guys? Do they not do any research at all? Their intelligence level's got to be zero. Or do they just get robots in there? Might think I'm putting them down, but guess what? You dumb down your pineal gland and you become a zombie. All right. Now, the next thing is this. You dumb down the pineal gland and then you damage the good bacteria in your large intestine. You have, for one thing, you are not a high vibrational being anymore. Okay, you broke the gut-brain connection and you dumbed yourself down by calcifying your pineal gland. So these are things we want to do. We want to break the shell on the pineal gland, get the calcium out of there. We want to bring the good bacteria back. And once you bring the good bacteria back, you're back. Whoa, where were you? Glad to see you're back, right? So everything is about connecting to your breath and making gut-brain decisions, okay? Not just from the brain, because that's just a robot. Your brain is like a computer program, and it's also like the chemist, and it drives hormones and chemicals. So really get to know what really goes on upstairs, and know that I almost think that the first number one brain is actually down in your large intestine. You know, the large intestine, where you believe that you have good bowel movements, where you believe that you really got it together down there, which most people do. You know, it's like this. I can backtrack with pretty well everyone, no matter what the condition is in their body, and we always come back to the large intestine abuse, okay? All right? And we're talking about emotional and physical abuse to that intestine, and it is the holy grail. So also, you will also continue with Doc of Detox essential therapies such as salt glows, skin brushing, clapping, pelvic squats, belly button therapy, and the castor oil pack, okay? All right? Now look at, when you get into the 4th and 5th day, that's when you're going to start adding things like steamed kale, spinach, berry smoothies, you know, if you can do it with structured water, great. But if you don't have structured water, use the water you have, okay? But do not overeat, and make sure you chew all your food until it is a liquid, and eat in a calm and peaceful state. Let me tell you something. If there's too much stuff going around, I don't eat. I just drink. I'm not going to eat. And when things calm down, I'm going to eat. Because if you're not calm, you're going to get bloating. You're going to get cramping. You're not going to digest your food. You're going to see it. Anybody that terrorizes himself is always going to see foodstuffs in the toilet. Okay? Because you don't have a second set of teeth down there. And understand something. If you see food particles in your stool, then guess what? Then you've been fooled and schooled. Okay? Because you are not looking after yourself. Your subconscious is actually running you. Okay. So that's basically the protocol. All right. So now, once we get over that 6-day thing, so it was kind of like 6 days in, we came 6 days out, and that's for this. I mean, for other things, you got to go by how you're feeling. Okay. Okay. So by the time that you're done that 6 days, it's really time. Some people can even do it earlier. You could incorporate other foods earlier, but you better make sure that you're chewing everything well, okay? Some people will even incorporate on day 4, all right? They'll incorporate more solid foods, like including healthy fats, like cooked vegetables, small amounts of clean plant protein, and of course, there's supplements. You could do it by day 4. I like to try to stretch it out to day 6. I just want to really milk it for everything it's worth, but I'll leave that in your hands. Remember to still take things slow as you incorporate more foods back into your diet. Be aware of how you feel. Keep checking in with yourself, your digestion, and know that people just eat too much food. I already told you 30% for you and 70% for your doctor. That's why you're running to the doctor all the time, okay? You're eating yourself to death. But you're eating yourself to death first with your mind, then physically with your body. Okay, so understand, you're either focused on your immune system or your adrenal system. If you're focused on your adrenal system, then you're a nibbler. I'm eating, I'm hungry, I need this, If you're that type of person, I could never be near you, because we know that you're full of anxiety. You know, I got to tell you, nibblers, watch out, nibblers. Because guess what? You're terrorizing yourself, and you're so fearful. Because why? Because you know your mind wants to keep you busy doing something, right? All the time. So most people are eating themselves into an early grave, to be honest with you. Do not become a piggy bank for the system, and that's what you're doing. I mean, food corporations want you to just continually eat. Okay? While this program seems pretty straightforward, understand that this is a time of discipline and patience. You know what? I want you to have more patience than you've ever had for yourself. I want you to let yourself off the hook for stuff. I want you to love and laugh about things, okay? I want you to learn and not burn, okay? Okay? it can be very tempting to break an extended fast too fast with a meal full of your favorite foods. Do not feed this temptation. Starve it. Your body will thank you tenfold. So understand, the reality is we want to retrain the brain. We need to get off the pain train, okay? We got to get off, guys, okay? We got to get on the love train. And the self-care, self-love. And you know what? I'm going to keep saying it. Now, a lot of people think, oh my God, it isn't about being conceited. Okay. You try to find somebody who works for me or someone in my family that tells me that say this: oh, he's just so conceited, he's so selfish, he's so self-centered, he won't share, he won't give, he's not there for us. Oh, am I here for you? Am I here for you? Understand something. If I'm not here for me, I can't be here for you. Right? And I definitely can only be here for people on a very small basis if I'm not here for myself. You can't give what you're not. All right. Jody, I've been trying to help my daughter and her children with their diet. She's been having bloody diarrhea. People just don't want to listen. You're right. You're right. But you got to find out on an emotional level what's eating her out. What's eating her out. So first in life, what happens is we have the outside environment is terrifying. So it terrifies us enough that our subconscious believes that we need to do something to protect something when we're younger. As time goes on, that belief might have saved us back then, but today that belief is eating us from the inside out. I hope you're getting what I'm saying, everyone. So what I'm trying to tell you is if you're suffering physically or emotionally, the belief that one time you felt you needed to do to become part of the herd or the family, to be accepted, that same belief is taking you apart right now. And this is why I say we have to erase and replace our beliefs. Tracy, I have a lump come up under my arm on the same side as the breast cancer. It seems to go up and down depending on how much stress I'm under. Yeah, you hit it right on the head. So understand, when you're stressed, you're hitting on your adrenals. Your adrenals pump out adrenaline. The adrenaline is so acidic, and the reality is we don't have tigers anymore chasing us. We're actually terrorizing ourselves, or Bill Gates is doing it for you. You know what I mean. So the reality is that every time you trigger yourself, and just so you know this is like so crazy. This is so crazy. Did you know that 75 years ago we would trigger our adrenals like in a drama response 3 times a month? Did you know before COVID we would do it 17 times a month? Did you know that today we're doing it, some people are doing it 50 times a day? So they're never stopping, they're continually dripping, and that's why cancer's gone through the roof, heart disease has gone through the roof, suicide has gone through the roof. This is why colds and flus are going through the roof. Oh, but they're all COVID. I haven't met anybody with a cold or flu. They all have COVID. Okay, how do I get rid of this and move the lump? I am dry brushing, doing the salt glow, walking and rebounding. Please don't suggest using products, etc. due to this COVID nonsense. My business has collapsed, and I'm single parent too. I am treating breast cancer holistically. No cut, no burn or poison. What can I do? I'll tell you what you can do. Tracy, just give me a call. 855-900-4544, extension 5. Call me around 12:30, 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time today. We'll go through things that you can do. Okay? All right? And I want you to give me a little bit more about the breast. And understand, everybody, that where she had the breast cancer, the actual scar is where another lump came up. And you can't put a beaver dam of scar and not expect to have something grow there. So when you get like surgery, you should have had Wolfe non-surgical go in there. And Tracy, look, if I've got a therapist near you or somewhere, or if you can come into the clinic, okay, I won't charge you. And I'll go in there and I'll take the, lovingly take that scar apart and then watch the actual lump come down, okay, because you're jam up jelly tight. You can't stop circulation and not think that you're going to have stagnation, that it'll eventually go to mutation. It just doesn't happen. You know, what came first, the swamp or the mosquito? First the swamp and then the mosquito. First the scar tissue and then the lump. Linda, with minding my own business, I am stuck because I have to wear this damn mask that I know that I don't need. But in order for me to be able to work, I have to. How can I break from this? Listen, this is a real big test for anyone. And if I had a job and I had to wear a mask, I would smile under it because the smile's for you. And I would connect to my breath. And I would probably pull it down under my nose. I'm not telling you what to do. And then people can go, hey, that's not down there. Okay, fine. But the reality is I would go to the bathroom a lot too. And I would just connect to my lion heart breathing whenever I can. But you don't have to pull it down under your nose. But the reality is make sure you're smiling underneath that mask because the smile's for you. And then go to the bathroom as much as you can. Go outside and be with yourself as much as you can. And just know this. Keep telling yourself, I got this. But make sure that you are breathing deep and that you're getting as much oxygen as possible. And try to wear a mask that is going to allow some oxygen in. Because if you think what you want, everyone. But meanwhile, you know, we're scared of COVID, which is an infection. But we're going to cut our oxygen supply down by 40% to 50%. Okay? And yeah, that's really great. I can't, yeah. And what, like we all just walk around spewing on each other? Okay, I can't even talk about this. Steve, hello, Darrell. Hello, doctor. I'm having blurry vision and a pressure under my left rib. Under my left rib. Okay, so left side, guys. You ready for this? He's constipated. Okay, so down, going down the left side. That's when the poop starts to get dry. When it comes around the sigmoid, which is the last 6 to 8 inches. And what's happening is he's not drinking enough water, not doing enough fiber. I'm not going to read, I haven't read the rest yet, but guess what? I'm going to tell you, I haven't. I swear to God, I did not read the rest. And when I read it, like if you come on my show, you're going to find out. He's going to, oh, he just read it. No, I didn't read it. Okay? I just want you to know something. That there's a practitioner out there in everyone. You want to come, you want to take my training for 21 days certification. I guarantee you're going to leave here knowing that you can go to work right away. Understand something right now, okay? I am no more intelligent than anyone else and out there. And everybody else, you know what? Take your God-given right back. Okay, having vision and pressure under my left rib cage that sometimes goes to the back. No pain, just pressure. Would sound like you guys, gas? Sound like gas? No shortness of breath. Feels like I have a muscle cramp. Oh my God, gas. Okay, and if that gas keeps coming up in the same place, it's irritating the tissue, which is causing scar tissue, which eventually scar tissue doesn't give. So when he moves, it'll feel like a pull. How am I doing, guys? Okay, how am I doing? Feels like a muscle cramp most of the time. There you go. Oh, you know when you feel you got a cramp? Oh, I feel like I got a cramp. Yeah, you got a gas bubble, and it's in there, and it's toxic. Because when your good bacteria turned into bad bacteria, they give off a bad gas, okay? It stinks, and it's inflammatory. Any advice would be appreciated. Yeah, go have a good poop. All right, so get the daily cleansing tea, the tummy love and the black gold, and we're gold. And if you say that you don't have a lot of money, at least get the daily cleansing tea. Never come off of it again, and your cramps are going to go away, and that's it. Understand, your large intestine is the holy grail of your immune system. Like it or lump it. My daily cleansing tea has no stimulants, no laxatives. And guess what? You wouldn't need it if we lived in a normal planet that wasn't trying to poison us, and if we weren't trying to poison ourselves. But we don't. So we need a little extra support for all of the detoxification organs that could work on their own if we were left alone. How's that? Wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, so I just did all of the questions there. Tell Tara if she's got any more questions to send them in, because if this is it. Okay. Okay. Then this is it, which means we're on a roll today. And that means everybody knows everything they need to know. Okay. Dr. Wolfe, why does the mouth taste sweet during water fast? Most people's mouths don't taste sweet. They taste actually bitter. So the sweetness, I don't know. Were you using Divine Vine or ATP, or were you using pineal on this? I really don't know. You got me stumped. Usually it's not. It's usually more of a bitter, and you can actually get a white coating, which is the candida fungus stuff. And so the other thing is, for people too, while you're doing the fast, you might want to get a tongue cleaner and get that off so your tongue can breathe, because sometimes you'll feel it. It's called a hairy tongue, right? I don't know. But I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll find out. Let me know, though, Thandy, if you were doing the ATP, which is sweet tasting, but it's not a sugar. It's a 5-carbon sugar. So it bypasses the Krebs cycle, everyone. So, it doesn't turn down your digestive tract. But I'll do some checking into it. Steve, can you over detox? Absolutely. Can you over anything? You can over everything. Everything in balance. Absolutely. I have people that have over detoxed and they have lost too much weight, and it's hard to get back their weight to get back on. And people will over detox, and please don't think that I know everything. I'm talking about my experience for 40 years. So, but understand, most people that over detox, they're dirty. They feel dirty. They feel yucky. They were made to feel dirty when they were younger. They were made to feel dirty about who they are. So they can't detox enough. So, they'll try to detox on a physical level to get rid of that emotional dirtiness. And just remember I said that, okay? I'm not making it as some kind of scientific data, but I'm telling you, it comes up more than you think. And yes, you can over detox anytime, right? You can overdo everything, anything. Ivanka, what is the mucus in your bowels? It's from inflammation. So first we get infection, okay? No, hold on. Let me slow back. So people don't believe it, but even a person with diarrhea has a sluggish bowel. You don't have a diarrhea, because diarrhea is where the brain actually sends water, lots of water into the bowel to trigger it, to give it diarrhea, because the bowel is so constipated and there's so much infection coming in from leaky gut. That is actually a protection device. Now, so let's start from the beginning. So sluggish bowel, okay, creates stagnation. Are we good so far, right? Stagnation, okay, creates putrefaction, which creates infection, which creates inflammation. And because you're only one cell thick, okay, that protects and allows the nutrients, the water, the things that should go through into the bloodstream and into the tissues of the body. When you get the inflammation part, it causes these tight junctions of one cell to open up and break apart, and that's called leaky gut. Now, your body can't pull them together unless you get rid of the inflammation, but you can't get rid of the inflammation unless you get rid of the infection. You can't get rid of the infection unless you get rid of the putrefaction, otherwise the rotting. You can't get rid of the putrefaction unless you get rid of the stagnation. You can't get rid of the stagnation unless you do something like the Perfect Day diet. I'm not telling you to do my diet, but whole plant-based food, structured water, daily cleansing tea, things of that nature. That's what's going to, for me, There's other ways to the top of the mountain, so pick whatever way you want to go, right? I'm not the only guy and the only show in town, right? It's just this is the way that I found that I want to go, and I'm sharing it with you. So the mucus is caused from the inflammation, and the mucus, if it wasn't there, it would not be blocking a lot of the infection that's going into your blood that's poisoning your body and causing systemic everything, right? And that's what we call autoimmune disease, because now you're a screen door in a submarine. That sucks, okay? So that's why you have the mucus. I've got so many questions, but I'll start with my husband. He was diagnosed with glaucoma, and they say this has no cure. I put a drop on each eye in the morning of brinzolamide eye drops. Is there something we can do to lower the eye pressure naturally? Well, first of all, honest to God, get him on the perfect day diet. His diet's not that great. Get him drinking structured water, because structured water has the lowest surface tension, right? So lowest surface tension. And the reality is in structured water, a water droplet has 2,500 to 3,000 sheets in it, very thin sheets. And when you structure the water with our structure unit, whether portable or under counter or the shower, right? It lowers the surface tension greater than any other water. And there's no electricity, there's no filters, there's nothing. So the reality is you've got now about 1,000% better hydration, but now your body doesn't have to do all that work to try to structure the water, because it has to be structured. If you don't do it with this, you got to do it with something else. And it's said that a 150-pound man, if he drinks the water he needs, which is basically almost 3 quarts, which would be 3 quarts a day, okay, understand this, that he would actually, to make that water structured, would utilize as much energy as if you kept the electricity going in a house for 2 to 3 months. So I don't know, 2,500 square foot home. So let's say it's not exact, but the reality is I think you're getting the picture. So remember something, everything about life is energy. So the more energy you have, the more fun you are to be with, the more fun you are to be with yourself. The more energy you have, the more things you can do. And you know what? As human beings, we love to complete things. We love to have adventures. So it's all about energy. Okay? So I would get him doing that, and get the cork out of his butt, because he doesn't have good bowel movements. Anybody that has glaucoma. And understand something, just so you know, everyone, glaucoma is blue light poisoning, and it'll also be 5G poisoning pretty soon. And you're going to hear about a lot of people who have glaucoma, cataracts, detached retina, styes, floaters. I could go on forever. And it's all because of blue light. I mean, blue light, it's your TV, it's your telephone, it's your iPad, it's all the LED lighting in the mall, in the offices. For most people, it's the LED lighting in their house. I won't use LED lighting in my home. Okay? So I use Pure Light. You can go to a company called Pure Light. They're really great. Okay, I really like their lighting. We used to carry it. It's, you can call, and if you buy enough, you can get 25% off. But they have really great lighting. You want to check that out. It's more natural. And then with the 5G satellites and all of that, whether you believe it or not, the invisible is really causing most of the eye problems. And understand this, it's actually brain damage that causes most eye problems. I'm going to say it again. It's brain damage that causes most eye problems, okay? All right? So the reality is the blue light and the 5G are very hard on the brain. 4G is too, but not like 5G is going to be. That's just a weapon of war, okay? So the reality is, 1 second. I don't like to wear them. They're on my desk right now, but I'll have them grab them. Look at our Tesla eyewear. Anybody out there, you know what? If you want to save your butt against blue light, 5G, when it comes to your brain and your eyes, Tesla eyewear turns all of those. Forget about blocking. Blocking blue light and 5G is ridiculous. Why don't we convert the 5G frequencies? Can you grab my Teslas, please? Okay, so why don't we convert the 5G frequencies and the blue light frequencies to healing frequencies for the brain? You heard what I said. It'll heal your brain. We just turn the 5G and the blue light into healing the brain and healing your eyes. Now, understand something. The eyes are never the problem usually. It's the brain first. And then we also know it's acidity levels. So understand something. What happens is your brain will actually cause cataracts, glaucoma. Why? Because it says, I can't, your brain goes, listen, you may lose your eyesight, but we can't lose the brain. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to cause congestion and filaments and scar tissue in your eye and even crystallization and displaced calcium to try to block the blue light and the 5G from burning out your brain. Find out if I'm right. Do your homework, okay? All right? And let me tell you something. Don't you dare tell me that there's not stuff going on. They could have built all the computers, all our lighting, all our phones with light that would actually heal our brain, because light is healing. Frequencies are healing unless you pick frequencies and light that are toxic and destroy the brain. Okay? And that's the reality right there. So these are Tesla glasses. And right away, when you put them on, if you feel eye strain, it goes down. If you feel headaches, it goes down. If you feel pressure in your brain, it goes down. And yes, I know they're expensive, but guess what? Go get a nice pair of sunglasses. Aren't these a nice pair? You can wear these outside, inside. And the reality is these are around $400. I may not be exactly right, but they're worth every nickel because it stops brain burn, stops your eye from being destroyed. And you think I'm kidding? I'm not. This is called fluorine lenses. These fluorine lenses are also in Bioptron, which is the most powerful full spectrum healing light in the world. You can see that on my website along with this if you go to EMF/light in my store. All right? Check it out. See what you think. Got questions? Give us a call. But the reality is, if you want to heal the eyes, you got to get rid of the blue light, got to get rid of the negative frequencies as much as possible. But guess what? You don't want to block it. You want to change that to heal. Energy medicine is the way of the future. And the greatest energy medicine is you. You're a light energy being. What they did was they're harnessing frequencies to kill us. You heard what I said, kill us. Every hospital has 5G in it. When I go into a hospital, okay, all right, I put on immunity on my throat. I take a few drops in my mouth, and I'll do it if I'm there. If I have to visit someone, I'll put my Teslas on. Oh, please. You know what? We are just so been schooled, fooled, and ruled. Where was I here? Glaucoma, and they say that this has no cure. Of course, there is no cure. They're not lying. For them, there's no cure. Because diet doesn't matter. Because detox doesn't matter. Because blue light isn't poisoning. Because 5G is okay. Let me tell you something. People are so scared, okay? The silent majority, they need their paycheck. I went to school for years. I'm not going to go up against the herd. I'll get attacked. What are we, like crazy here? There's no cure. You're the cure. You need to take massive personal action. If somebody tells you there's not a cure for something, they're not lying because their brain says don't dare go there. That's it. Just because your beliefs don't match, okay? Now, do I go around telling people, hey, come to us, we've got cures? We don't have any cures. We got information on how you can take massive personal action and become your own practitioner. That's what I say. I'll keep an eye on that for you. What, are you kidding me? Nobody's going to keep an eye on anything. They're going to keep an eye on your money. Okay. And then you can say, oh, well, Dr. Wolfe, you're after our money too. Well, let's see if you get from me less or more for your money than any practitioner that I know of. And that's the reality. The reality is I've got the library there. I've got my master classes for you. I've got this show for you. Did I pick up one product here? No, I talked about them. But I did. I picked up this, didn't I? There you go. But the reality is I got to show you some products. You know, you're not getting them from anywhere out there. So those of you who want to support yourself and actually spend your money in a good place, I hope to be doing that for you. So there's so much going on right now that we're all looking for the conspirator. We're all looking for the liar. Okay, so I get it. But the reality is don't lie to yourself. You can cure yourself of what you created. You created it. Can't you uncreate it? Are you kidding me? You're going to tell me that your creator said, I'm going to create you so you can go down there and create what you want. And now you forgot that. That's all. And I'm just trying to give you a friendly reminder. So yeah, and you know what? If I had glaucoma, I would get these glasses. I'd be using fulvic. Hope you don't mind anybody. I'm going to show them some products. I'd be using silver spray in my eyes. I would be using fulvic eye drops. We're the only company in the world that has fulvic eye drops, and they're amazing. And I'd be putting those in my eyes, and I would get myself a Bioptron light. You can go to EMF/light in my store and see the Bioptron. And it has a fluorine lens on it like these glasses, and it'll go right down to the bone. It'll go right into through the eyes. And the reality is we are light energy frequency beings. Okay, and what else would I do? I'd get on the perfect day diet. And what else I'd do? I'd learn how to do clapping. Okay, those are the things that I would do right off the bat, and I would go in and honor and respect that large intestine because he's blocked up. And if you can get him into even doing maybe some coffee enemas and flush that liver, there you go. I would take a look at the ultimate coffee enema as well. Remember something. The more that you get into being a health nut, okay, all right, you're not going to be sick. Oh, my God, he's such a health nut. Whatever. You know what? They can call us all the names they want, right? Call me whatever you want. Yes, I'm a quack. All right? That's Dr. Wolfe the quack. All right? The reality is, guess what? We make people happy. And when they come to us, they leave here no longer scared. What's that worth? What do you recommend for strong period pain? Daily cleansing tea, tummy love, and black gold, and start drinking more structured water in the whole plant-based diet. All right? And I just talked about this on yesterday's show. And I talked about why you have a painful period, because you're all jammed up and jelly tight down there, and the worst toxins in your body are coming down to go out through the vaginal canal, but there's already a traffic jam down in your pelvis and your lower abdomen. Please go back and take a look at yesterday's show. All right? Is fasting recommended for kids 10 and older? 10 and older? Yeah, sure it is. But you know what? They don't need to fast because they're not they're not toxic like us. How many beers have they had? How many tokes have they had? How many prescription drugs have they had? How many toxic relationships have they had? Okay, how many burgers with processed cheese? How much milk did they drink? How many dead animals did they eat? Right? You see what I mean? Well, we don't need to overdo anything, right? And just usually getting kids that are 10 years old on more of a better diet and getting their bowels moving, whoa, and getting them to drink more water, so then you can use like lemon lift or super cinnamon, these are essential oils, or orange burst in their drinking water so they'll drink more, and get them structured water. And guess what? They'll heal. They've got circulation. We've got constipation because we've got adulteration. That's it. We're an inflammation nation. Boom. There you go. I'm a rapper. We'll wrap this up in about 10 minutes. What do you think? Hey, Sean? Okay. What do you suggest for alcohol use? Oh, I would suggest you don't bring it home. There's the first step. Do not allow alcohol to come into the house. If somebody wants to drink alcohol, they have to leave the house. The first drink, he's kind of nice. Second drink, he's even funny. Third drink, it's not funny anymore. Okay, alcohol is not good for anyone. It's highly acidic. Oh yeah, my grandmother used to have a shot of brandy before she went to bed at night. Well, you know what? Yeah. And it helped her sleep, calm her nerves down, because you know what? If she didn't do that, she'd be terrorizing herself. The reality is, if you can find peace, you're already there. Okay? Alcohol is a poison. Yeah, and I really love it. Oh, yeah, we're all worried about COVID. The government's worried about COVID. Yeah, that's right. Everybody out there in the world, we're all just so worried. Then why don't you shut down the liquor stores? Why don't you shut down the vaping stores? Right now, they're showing vaping with nicotine in it on commercials right now. Remember how they had to come off TV because you couldn't show cigarettes anymore? It was illegal. Guess what? The sneaky little predators. Now they're on there showing vaping with nicotine, and they're trying to addict all our children. Don't talk to me about COVID. Talk to me about loving oneself, respecting oneself, honoring oneself. Stop poisoning oneself. Okay, let me see you shut every corner store down. Let me see you shut okay, in this next lockdown, okay, all right? Don't shut down my organic restaurant and then leave open McDonald's drive-through, okay? Why don't you do that? You know, enough of this BS, and I do mean BS, and I don't mean dysfunctional belief systems. I mean the big pile that's sitting in front of us. The reality is here, this is all not about anything, right? And you know what? They can disrupt my life as much as they think they're going to, but they don't, right? You know when there's a lie, okay? But the silent majority does not want to speak up because they've been taught. Because when they used to speak up when they were children or when they were teenagers, they got slapped. Well, understand something. They're going to have to do more than slap me. Okay? All right? I don't scare that easy. Lindsay, how can I take apart scar tissue myself, or where can I go to do this? Well, you can come here for personal treatment and training, or just for treatments, or we can send somebody to teach you how to do it. They'll come to your home. They'll come to your home for 5 days. They'll teach you and your family, you and your friend, you and your spouse, or you and your partner. We have so many. Go take a look at the personal treatment and training guide on our website. But if you want to call me, we'll figure out what's the best way for you financially and what you're wanting to do. Okay? But understand something. Clapping will help. Okay? Clapping can help, which I'll be doing the series on. So if you haven't got a clapper, understand we're out of clappers. They should be in probably in about a week. And then in about 3 or 4 weeks, we're putting the whole clapping class up, right? Yeah, we're already shooting it. The beginning anyways. The rest is live. And get yourself a clapper. If not, use your hands. If you can't afford it or don't want it, don't buy one. But the other thing is once you have scar tissue, you have to understand something. It'll cripple you. Oh, no, it won't? Well, do you ever see so many canes, so many walkers, so many wheelchairs, so many electric wheelchairs, so many crippled people, so many people limping? I've never seen so many people limping in the last 5 years. You know, I bet you 1 out of 5 people have a limp. And if they don't limp, they waddle like a duck. Am I right or wrong? Or they shuffle. Oh, let's do the shuffle. That's because they're so frozen. All of this can be reversed. And we're the only ones that give a money-back guarantee that'll be reversed. If you listen to what we say, it's not because we're special. It's because we're logical. And you are special because you have the healing ability. You just don't realize that you're undermining your health throughout your day because that's the way that you've been schooled. Listen, if you're not killing yourself, then you're not going to keep the systems alive out there. Is there really a cannabinoid system in your body? Yeah. And so what happens is we have an endocannabinoid system in the brain. Okay. And what that does is that's our pain mechanism. It helps to get rid of pain. It helps to keep peace within our body. But guess what? You ready for this? Blue light destroys it. Blue light has destroyed the endocannabinoid system in the brain, and that's why we're addicted to CBD, because now we have to go and get the CBD because the CBD has been shut down that our body makes. Do your research. Isn't that something? Blue light, man. I already told you that. The blue light is frying your brain like an egg. Barbara, I am 67 and I'm losing muscle mass. Yeah, well, here's the deal. If you don't exercise, where exercise like this, not weights, Barbara, and if they are, they're light. They don't have to be heavy. The reality is everybody, if they did lengthen, strengthen, detox, and restore exercises, take a look at my pelvic squats. Take a look at my crab stretch. All right, take a look at core twisting. Take a look at rebounding. You won't lose any muscle. And you will lose muscle if you're highly acidic. A 67-year-old woman is usually pretty acidic. Are you doing the SAC calcium? Because you need to pull the calcium back, all the calcium you've lost, put it back in your bones. Buffer down and alkaline yourself and bring that acid level down. Make sure that you got a good flow going on and you're having 2 to 3 good bowel movements a day. And then let's get into a whole plant-based diet, but let's bring in some lentils. Let's bring in some beans. I like to put, people will say, well, what about meat? Well, get free range and organic, but the reality is most people can't chew because their teeth aren't that good. But you got to chew your meat down to a liquid. Then you can do it if you're a meat eater. But the reality is I tell people that if you really want, get free range organic eggs and take like 2 eggs in a blender drink with berries and oat milk or almond milk and blend those up and do that twice a day. You're getting more protein than eating a 16-ounce steak. And then people are going to go, yeah, but what about getting salmonella poisoning? And I'll go, well, if you actually made the drink and then you sat it on the beach and you let it warm up, that's how you're going to get it. Nobody gets it. When's the last person you heard anybody get it? They got it from a restaurant or somewhere. The reality is I've been doing organic, fresh, and raw eggs, okay, for myself. I don't do them as much anymore, but I do still do them when I feel like I need that, right? When you eat a fried egg, we'll never eat a hard-boiled egg because it's hard to digest. There's a clue. Hard-boiled. They're just for mountain climbing or when you need to take them somewhere on a trip. But the reality is you got to chew them a lot or else you're going to have all kinds of cramping because if you don't break it down, it breaks you down. So, when you eat like, let's say, a soft-boiled egg, you're getting around 17 to 24% of the amino acids by the time it's broken down, which is not a lot. There's still a lot of waste there. When you're doing an organic one, you're up in the 70s, even close to 80% of amino acid uptake. So, yeah. So, I basically, my eggs are free-range, organic, raw in my blender drinks. And it makes a really nice shake instead of using milk or something like that. It thickens it. And so, do like, and berries are great. I love frozen strawberries, oat milk. I might put 1 or 2 raw eggs in. And then you can even go get yourself a vanilla sprouted protein powder or a pea powder if you want. I like the sprouted protein powder, the vanilla one better though. I saw a good one at Popeyes, and it was organic. So shop around, get yourself good deals on that. Don't overdo it, but it's a good combination, and I actually have that in my perfect day for people. Okay. But the reality is, if you're 67 years old and you're not doing 20 minutes of stretching a day, and you're not doing 20 minutes of some type of toning and a little bit of cardio, you're going to lose muscle. That's the way it is. Okay. So, if you don't move it, you lose it. Don't move it, you lose it. So move it and you won't lose it. Okay. Linda, why would my husband's calves hurt when he drives and pain? Because his calves are crystallizing. And that's lactic and uric acid crystals and also calcium being pulled because he's so acidic. Okay. And understand something. His calves are tight anyways. So when he drives, he's just moving his foot, right, to do the brake or on the gas, right? And when you sit down and you drive, you don't move a lot, do you? Well, how many people get out of a car and they feel stiff from driving? Well, those people that don't drink enough water, those people don't have a whole plant-based diet, those people who don't do the lengthen, strengthen, detox, and restore exercises that I teach. So, we're talking about 95% of the population gets stiff when they drive. But the reality is because you're jammed up jelly tight in your bowel. You've been leaking waste from your bowel, and that's the lactic uric acid crystallization in the calves. And then because you're acidic, you're pulling calcium from your bones, and that calcifies the area. And then you get scar tissue. Like a lot of older people are getting what I like to call a stump disease, where they have this really bad, deep pain in their legs, and it keeps them up at night, or the restless leg syndrome. That's all part of it, right? Okay, or they have these neuralgic pains in their lower legs. That's because basically they're heading towards stump leg. Okay, and there's so much that you can do, but I would look into the pelvic activation squats, the crab stretch, clapping, structured water, daily cleansing tea, tummy love, black gold, and also whenever you do decide to clean your liver by doing the ultimate coffee enema, you'll just go, wow, I really didn't think I could put anything up my bum, but hey, now I'm starting to hum. I got this. That's it. What do I think about the keto diet? Well, I would do a whole plant-based keto diet. We're talking about some beans, we're talking about avocado, we're talking about some lentils. You know what I mean? Okay. I'm more leaning towards that. We know that dead animals vibrate at zero. I don't know how many dead animals it takes to heal. And the reality is I think there's been enough suffering on the planet. And you know what? That's just my belief. So if you have a belief and you believe that animals are there for you to eat, then make sure they're free range and organic, and make sure they've been loved. And make sure they've been loved. Lori, my son has lipoma. Okay, I have 3 more questions. That's it for today, guys, okay? My son has lipoma between the shoulder blades, which was removed surgically and returned a few months. What can this be related to? It could be related to a lung problem, but the reality is, I'm going to try to explain something, and then a lot of people are just going to call BS on me maybe. I don't know. But the reality is this. First of all, belief systems start in the invisible world, right? When you get a belief and you run it long enough and strong enough, it becomes a very strong belief, and then it becomes a prominent belief in the subconscious. Once it becomes a prominent belief in the subconscious, then the actual unconscious part of the body, which is the body's tissues and cells, I like to call. You've got your subconscious, you got your conscious body, then you got your unconscious. So when you go to put your pants on, you can do it unconsciously because you can. You just know how to do it. You know how to tie your shoes. You know how to go to the bathroom. You will even make coffee and wonder if you even made the coffee. You might even go back to check. The reality is things we do unconsciously. So whether you want to believe this or not, okay, and this is what I'm going to tell you is, diseases always come back to a person where the disease is not just in their subconscious, but it's in the vibration, the frequency is actually they've got issues in their tissues, okay? Issues are now in the tissues. And the reality is we know that we have what we call muscle memory. Muscle memory is how you know how to put your pants on. Well, muscle memory is also how the disease comes back. Did he actually change parts of his personality? Did he actually change his diet? Did he actually change the way he thinks, drinks, eats, okay, speaks? Okay. The other thing is that when you cut out the lipoma, did anybody actually go in there and actually lovingly take the scar tissue apart? Because right now, if he feels it back there, he'll move. It'll feel like there's a knot. And that's exactly what it is. The more we tie knots, right? If I had a rope and I tie one knot in it, it's shorter. If I tie another one, it's shorter. If I tie another one, it's shorter. So that's why when you try to move around, the more scar tissue, more displaced calcium you have, the more shorter your ligaments and your tendons and your muscles become, the more restricted you are. And that's what we call old age. And that's why I'm never getting old. There. Will I get older? Yes. Happy birthday, Darrell. But am I going to get older? No. You wait and you see. When I'm in my 80s and we're still doing the show, there you go. But I'll be doing the show with energy, and I'll have movement, and you'll see me moving around. I won't be like some stiff board, okay? Because that's only because you've been ruled, schooled, and fooled. If you actually, you're doing good for a 50-year-old person, trust me, you're not. You're not really doing good for a 50-year-old enlightened person, being, okay? Yeah, it's his diet. You don't get lipomas from a good diet. Let me tell you that much. Okay? That's for sure. Valentina. Hi, Darrell. I get a dryness and burning tongue sensation, especially throughout the day. Well, it could be the Wi-Fi, 5G, blue lights. Worse when I eat fruits. Well, now it's probably the acidity from the fruits. My tongue gets white throughout the day. Okay, well, your fungus, okay? We got tons of fungus going on. So you got tons of bowel problems going on. I've been on Zantac for years. So you've destroyed the hydrochloric acid in your stomach, and you're killing the good bacteria in your bowel. That's why. See, we hit it right on the head. I'm wondering if my gut bacteria has been messed up. No, it's been wiped. So I'm not saying it's no longer there. And the only really good bacteria is mummy's bacteria. And even if there's one, which there is, you can get trillions. You just got to get on the perfect day diet. I'd take a look at getting a consultation. I'd look at getting a consultation to everybody out there. A perfect day consultation. It's $125. Whoever told you they were going to consult you for $125, give you an hour-long audio. Dr. Wolfe is going to go over that with your consultant, your history before they do it, and then you have unlimited calling with us. Okay. So understand, until you're ready to create that perfect day from the minute you wake up until you go to bed, who's mastering who? I'm wondering if my gut bacteria has been messed up because of the antacids. I'm thinking also candida. I'm also not able to lay down to sleep at night because I have reflux. So understand, before you go to bed at night, I need you to take around a teaspoon of baking soda and put it into about 8 to 10 ounces of water and drink it. Then you'll be able to do that. But you'll probably actually have to do the baking soda. You won't have to do the antacids if you do the baking soda. So do the baking soda, do warm water or to hot water, and a teaspoon of baking soda first thing when you wake up in the morning. And then do another one if you maybe midday, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and then do another one before you go to sleep, not to have to get up to urinate, but before that. And then you're going to say, oh my gosh, Dr. Wolfe, this is amazing. Okay, baking soda is really great. Arm & Hammer's fine to buy. It's not toxic at all, so you can use that. Lori, what do you do? Oh, there's other things you could do. If you've got reflux, then we know that you've got a lot of crystallization and displaced scar tissue right here. If I could go in here and work on this and gently doing Wolfe non-surgical, I could take it apart. And with Wolfe non-surgical, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's a technique I put together using the elbow. We have a manual that everybody gets who goes through a personal treatment and training and a certification. That's 340 pages, and it is better than any bodywork manual out there. I spent 7 years writing this thing and putting it together with pictures. And guess what? An 8-year-old can understand it. All right? So that's the deal. So the reality is health is not that hard when you're not trying to control people. All right? What do you do to heal thyroid problem? Well, first of all, that you've been just triggering your adrenals like crazy. You might want to look at doing some iodine. We use Iderol. It's a time release. It's on my website. But the infinite iodine that we've had trouble getting for the last 3 months because of this C situation, once it comes on, it's the best. It's 10,000. The molecule is 10,000 times smaller than any iodine on the market, and it's totally a vegetable iodine, and it's totally assimilated down to the deepest part of your cells into your mitochondria. Okay, I'll be doing some shows on that as soon as we get it back up online. Okay, we're getting close. But I would, with thyroid, there's lots you can do. And I would take a look at your diet. usually with thyroid problems. Is it hypo or hyper? I don't know, but it's usually hypo. And when it's hypo, we're looking at blocks throughout the body having to work so hard. And we're looking at a lot, usually constipation problems. And so, the more high vibrational the diet, I would definitely look at Divine Vine if I were you. I would look at the Iderol. I'd look at doing the daily cleansing tea. There's just 3 products. Start with those. But I would look at getting a consult again. Franco, what daily vitamins would you recommend to boost the immune system? Well, especially because winter is coming. Well, with winter coming, take a look at our Curcumin Cayenne 5000. That is amazing. Inexpensive. And guess what? Curcumin and Cayenne 5000, that mixture, it is the strongest anti-inflammatory, okay? It increases circulation better than any other product I know of. And then you might want to take a look at our Sononian minerals. There's 147 nutrients in there, all your vitamins, all your minerals, and antioxidants. And take a look at the Curcumin Cayenne 5000 and make sure your bloody bowels move all year long, because as soon as we get into fall time, winter time, we get into more cooked foods. Bowels slow up. We put on 10, 15 pounds throughout the winter. This is all because we're jam up jelly type, reabsorbing our own waste, slowing down circulation, because the waistline is actually becoming a line of waste. Okay? All right? And understand something, everybody. I already told you this, okay? In 3 weeks, I don't even have the date, so let me think here. So this week, we've got Jay Lee on Wednesday going rheumatoid arthritis and calcium ion therapy. Next Wednesday, we've got how to become number 1 at the art of number 2, what every human should know. Because understand something, I guarantee you, you don't understand that your bowels are a computer. But the reality is that will be about a 7-day show. So it's going to run right into the next Wednesday. So then you'll want to check that out. Okay? And then after that, we'll be bringing the clapping on. All right? And we've got some other really great people coming on, like Magda Havas about 5G. And we're going to be interviewing a lot of the people that are going to be, we're going to be doing like a 15-minute interview on a lot of the people that are going to be in Turning Point, okay? And the biggest names in the world will be on Turning Point, this webinar series that we are hosting, which we are looking at around 2.5 million people watching it right throughout. That's our reach. We're going to be in actually around 50 different countries, all right? So I want to thank everybody, especially those people, those Braveheart heroes who decided to do the 6-day advanced water fast, even if you did a half a day, 1 day, and even if you came and you were a spectator and all you did was watch this time, yeah, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. You know, when the door hinge is rusty, just put some WD on it, let it soak for a while, and then we'll open it up. And that's what we want you to do, is to open up. And open up your heart, open up your mind, and understand that you are an infinite potential light energy being, okay? So just know, those of you, because we've been getting lots of people emailing us, and what I'd prefer is, if you want to get a personal treatment and training to come to your clinic to teach you the Wolfe non-surgical, or if you want someone to come and teach you to your home and your family. So if you want to be certified, or you want somebody to come to your home, please call me directly to extension 5. So that's 855-900-4544 extension 5. They're just going to send you to me anyway. And look, you're not bothering me. This is what we do. We're here for you. We work for you. Okay. In our upcoming courses, we have 5 spots left for January. That's it. January the 9th. There'll be a combined course, Whole Life Coach, and also Wolfe Non-Surgical. And if you want to just take one, you can take one or take them both. We will be in Texas next year, and California, and maybe even Florida. Soon as they decide to stop playing the game, the COVID game, then maybe we can get a pulse on it. But we can't keep on booking, and when they mess us around, we mess everybody else around. So until they stop doing that, we don't want to do that to anyone. In March, it looks like March will be in Ixtapa at Ixtapa Palace World Training and Healing Center for a combined certification course, which is 21 days. But then we will be extending it another 12 days to 33 for those people who really want to go in depth with me one-on-one, like that group. And we will be going through all the diseases, all conditions, and we will be going deep into the mind and deep into the body. Okay? April in Kelowna, we'll be doing another combined certification course. And if you want my book, just call in, and you only pay the shipping. Okay? And don't forget, next Monday I'll be here for my live Q&A. And don't forget that you can, all our shows and our Q&As are time-stamped, everyone, so that you can find your question or topic easily. And this is on YouTube. Also, in the YouTube description, you can find links to everything I talked about in this show. Also, if you wish to listen to any of my shows, or you can download them. Download the audios to your phone or your iPod, and you can get them off of iTunes, Spotify, or SoundCloud. We all have the power to heal. And believe it or not, the world has tried to get you to believe that you need it. Okay? You don't. Okay? You need a coach. You need a guide. I'm not telling you that's us. But find a coach. Find a guide. Look at somebody or some program or something that's going to make you go inside, that's going to help you to unleash and to give yourself unconditional love for yourself, and know that you matter, and that whatever your passion is, whatever your purpose is, whatever you've wanted to do in your life, don't let their scare tactics derail you. Mind your own business, to love, honor, and respect yourself first and foremost, so that you can become the light for everyone else. And when you order, make sure you get a bunch of Braveheart love bands, because this is the hug, that's the kiss, that's the snap, because to get you back into the present moment, because the present moment is the only moment of power. Why do you think they're doing all this to you? You know, you're hitting your adrenaline so much and triggering them that you are burning yourself up with disease because you're not at ease. Take back your power. Better still, stop giving it away. 3, 2, 1. You got this, Braveheart. Have a beautiful day. If you're looking for life-saving and life-changing information, well, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Stay connected.